All right, so we're just basically going to rip the Band-Aid off of this one right here. It's a two-part question, I guess, technically. CTS sites in Cambridge, yes or no, and why?
And Mr. Patello, again, we begin with you.
I'm against that. I think that it's going to draw more addicts to the community. I don't think we should be enabling drug users. We need to be helping these people, but you can't help somebody that doesn't want it, and I don't think that the consumption site is going to help that. I think it's going to increase crime in the neighborhoods, and I don't think I'm against it. Thanks.
Ms. CODY?
People are speaking loud and clear throughout the community that they don't want a drug consumption site either in the core areas or within Cambridge at all. And I've been very clear myself over the years that I also do not support a consumption site, as I would not consider it to be a solution. I feel that we need to stop building the social franchises that are based on social crises, and we actually have to focus on the education, prevention, rehabilitation, mental health supports, affordable housing, and drug courts. And currently right now with the issues with the toxic brain injuries and the organ failure caused from the overdoses, it's definitely not a positive solution. And I think that if we could come up with the positive solutions, that's how we have the positive outcomes.
Mr. De Silva?
Thank you. I believe in compassion. I believe in safe and healthy communities. I believe in greater public health and well-being. I believe in the safety of my own family and yours. We have heard reports that municipalities such as Kitchener and Guelph that have consumption and treatment facilities are experiencing a reduction in in medical waste in our streets and are saving lives. Our Chief of Police, Chief Larkin, has noticed a difference in the amount of traffic of this nature and a difference in our city streets. Cambridge Council and staff, through the Consumption Treatment and Selection Task Force, have a firm criteria to not have locations in our downtown cores. Council and region have been listening, and efforts to keep our cores vibrant, our communities safe and vibrant, are taking place. For these reasons, and especially for the fact that we are saving lives, I will support a consumption and treatment facility site, but also recognize the need to keep it away from any of our core areas. Thank you.
And just a reminder to thank you for that response, and just a reminder for the final four candidates to begin with whether you yes or no support the initiative, and then go into your explanation. So Mr. Hamilton, your response.
Thank you for the question.
Yes. This is no doubt, though, a polarizing issue. And to be honest, I wasn't sure where I was going to sit on it. So instead of believing things I were to read on social media or any posts on Facebook, I went straight to the source, which were experts and healthcare practitioners that work in the city of Cambridge and give their lives to the city of Cambridge. So I went and spoke with the police, the fire department, the hospital. I spoke with representatives at Lang's, the House of Friendship, the Food Bank, Social Planning Council, numerous other groups. And across the board, every single group said the same thing. A CTS site is not a silver bullet that's going to magically cure all of our problems in Cambridge, but it will save the lives of Cambridge residents that need help. It will reduce the amount of needle clutter in downtown cores and in our parks. And most importantly, it will help clear up a lot of the issues we see in downtown areas and reduce crime, just as we're seeing in Guelph and Kitchener. I'm going to share Manuel's sentiment, which is we cannot have a CTS site in a downtown core. We need to protect above all schools, residences, and businesses. But as a compassionate community, doing nothing is not an option. A CTS site right now is our best option to save the lives of our residents and to build a bustling, compassionate community going forth.
Mr. Johnson.
Okay, well, this is not a yes or no question, as I'm sure you know. It's a very dividing question, very polarizing. The bulk of the people I've spoken to in Ward 7 are adamantly opposed to a safe injection site. But let me say that if, as I understand it, the goal of a safe injection site is to give treatment, to provide treatment to those who need it, to protect neighborhoods, and to save lives, well, I'm for that. And I will say this to anyone who happens to be watching this from a tavern. If you're sitting in a bar right now, you're in a safe injection site. The only difference is the product being consumed is legal and taxable, and the person running the establishment is under no auspice to get you off the stuff. So frankly, we're already surrounded by safe injection sites. We're just in the process of deciding what quantifies getting people healthy and happy. And frankly, the council as it sits now, there is not going to be a safe injection site in the core. They are moving forward at looking one for the region. And my belief is if we're going to have one, Cambridge should decide where it goes and not the region, wonderful as the people of the region may be.
Mr. Patel.
Definitely yes. There are lots of difference between human being and being human. Very few people can understand what is the meaning of that. I am one of them. Mr. Rob is still alive because of me. 17 December, he came to my store, I do CPR, and I just call 911 and save his life. He's an addicted person, right? It doesn't mean like this consumption site and everything. We are as a deal every single day. The consumption side, some people are different views and things. These are not to serving alcohol like vodka, whiskey, rum, and like beer like Corona. This is like to save the life. We are planning to put in the right stream. They are already, even our society is like facilitated, they're going to be addicted. Nobody is born like homeless and addicted, right? This is the way we have to find the solution. But yes, core area and everything, we have to keep it side. I'm every other colleague, they say it like that. I'm happy. Core area is not inside with this consumption site. It's supposed to be outside the core area. Beside the hospital or somewhere, this is the perfect way to find out. Thank you.
Mr. Warish?
At this time, I can't support a safe injection site. Cambridge lacks the wraparound services. I've had the opportunity actually to travel to Vancouver in the past to see their safe injection site, and I can't see it solving all of Vancouver's problems, nor do I see it solving any real community problems. That being said, I do believe that we have an obligation to invest in treatment. We do have an addiction crisis in Cambridge, and we have an obligation to provide accessible treatment to all. We must advocate to seek our provincial funds and provide municipal incentives to ensure our region is able to attract adequate addiction treatment centers rather than having folks travel outside the region. I view the CIS as putting a Band-Aid on an overall larger problem that we can't continue.
Last response to Mr. Boland.
Thank you. I oppose a consumption and treatment site from coming to Cambridge. I do not believe that we have a viable location for one in our city. We have 3 beautiful but separated downtown cores, so no matter where you put it, you will always be servicing 1/3 of the population and not the entire population. As Ward 7 councillor, we also have the duty to represent those who are in our ward. And from what I can tell by knocking on the doors, the overwhelming majority of people in the ward do not want a site in Cambridge. This is also in line with the public feedback to the planning study that was presented to council, and I quote, "The overwhelming majority of responses expressed opposition to a CTS site being established anywhere in the city. This must be followed. It's clear that the majority of Cambridge citizens do not want a site in our community, and we as council have to represent the citizens of Cambridge. But I do have compassion and do want treatment. I do believe that we need more opportunities for education, rehabilitation, mental health, and addiction support. We need more preventative measures, not reactive ones. I prefer a proactive solution. Thank you."